Hey guys, you're watching Halborn Flash videos. Today we're talking to Elys. So Hesham, thank you so much for joining us for this Flash video. Maybe you could very briefly introduce yourself for a little bit as we start the interview.
Thank you so much, Arabdha, and thank you to the Halborn team. My name is Hesham. I'm a co-founder, growth lead, and business development lead at Elys Network. A little bit about me. I'm a graduate of the U.S. Air Force Academy, 22 years in the Air Force, now in the Air Force Reserves as a Lieutenant Colonel. I specialize in operations research, big problem solver. I like to take things hands-on. And then also a co-founder of the OtterSync validator in the Cosmos SDK. I'm also an Airbus 320 captain. I have 7,000 hours of flight time and looking forward to working with you in the future.
Amazing. That's such an amazing background as well. How did you make this transition from Air Force and, airlines to blockchain, and how did that go about?
It's a lot of it is just very organic, right? So I think during the movement from when Web3 first started, kind of the Bitcoin movement, then Ethereum, moving into kind of what we're seeing today, the DeFi build out. uh, starting to hear about the exciting, frontier that was available for users to go and build out new products and services, it really captured my attention. So I've always been kind of interested in like innovation and technology. And so it really fit with my ethos and what I wanted to see kind of like in the future contributions to the economy or to society. So here we are. So I just happened to have met the co-founders kind of getting involved in a lot of DeFi projects as a user, and we kind of shared the same values and visions on what we'd like to build. And here we are.
Such a crazy journey. Great, great. So tell us a little bit about what inspired the founding of Elys Network and what is it all about?
So as I mentioned, we were DeFi users, and the early, what we call first generation DeFi, was plagued with a lot of problems, whether it be security problems, whether it be technical issues just in terms of reliability, or ease of access. So somebody who was new to the space would have a very difficult time even figuring out how to jump into DeFi. And we recognize those pain points and those hurdles and as really important things that needed to be tackled as far as user adoption, mass adoption, to actually get more people to come and enjoy the features that are available. On top of that, we actually saw that the existing DeFi platforms that we were using simply lacked functionality, features, the entire user experience, whether they be user interface based or not, simply just didn't meet what the expectations were. So when I met with the other founders, as we were just simply talking this out as users and community members of other projects, we essentially came up with the idea to try to build this ourselves since we couldn't actually affect the change within those chains since they had already kind of gone a different route. And I think that was a really important starting point for us because we were doing this in the middle of the big crash of Bitcoin after 2021, and so it allowed us to see what went right and what went wrong, and that was really valuable for us in terms of our data collection to build what we have today.
Amazing. And one of the things that you touched upon was precisely user experience and complexity and all of that. And that often tends to be one of the biggest complaints for users in the DeFi space when they're using platforms. So how do you do it differently with Elys?
We have really put a lot of thought into this one. So I think the most important thing for us is how do you get the user onto Elys Network? That was always one of the most critical pain points for people getting involved in DeFi. So we have added wallet abstraction as a way for a user to access our app. So we built our own blockchain so we could have control of the protocol to be able to customize it as much as we can. And then we built the app on top of that. So our app is very easy to use. A user can go to app.elys.network. They can connect with a social account, so something like a Google account. And once they're logged, it takes about 2 seconds to log in. And once they're logged in, a wallet is created for them. And they never have to worry about storing seed phrases or worrying about like any of the security issues that might be associated with that. So right from the start, we already have an advantage over, 99% of the DeFi platforms out there because we make the onboarding process so easy. That was usually where the users would stop. They would give up on the onboarding and simply try something else. So we're excited about that. Beyond that, we give them extremely functional features on our app. So again, when using the Elys Network app, you'll be able to see that it's super easy to navigate. The flow makes perfect sense. You don't have to read the documentation to figure out where you're at. And we customize it for the user experience to be fast. So anytime, somebody wants to manage a specific asset, they'll have everything available to them at the dashboard if they want to. If they wanted to dig deeper, they can go to specific screens and go from there. So so far, we had rolled that out earlier this year, about 6, 7 months ago in our testnet process, and the feedback has just been overwhelmingly positive. We're absolutely thankful to the community members who participated in that and provided the feedbacks to allow us to make it better.
That's excellent to hear. And you're definitely handling the adoption part of the problem, right? With making it so easy to jump onto Elys Network and start using. Speaking of all these features, what other key features would you highlight that really sets you apart from the rest of the competitive landscape out there?
So we have several that I'm excited to showcase about Elys Network. So aside from having that wallet abstraction to be able to get you onboarded easily, we use chain abstraction to allow you to connect to just about every chain out there. So these integrations that will occur over the roadmap over the next year or so allow a user to basically be on the Elys platform interacting with any chain, whether it's Solana, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chain, you name it. They'll have access to all those without the complications of bridging or the complications of trying to maintain several wallets and try to move assets back and forth. It'll all be done seamlessly for you. We use partners for that. And I think that's really one of the things that also has also been kind of acting as a barrier to entry for a lot of users is managing that kind of multi-chain portfolio. We allow you to do it all on Elys Network. So you'll have options to simple stake or liquid stake all of those tokens. You could stake your Bitcoin, you could stake your Ethereum, you can even stake USDC if you're kind of taking a more conservative route. That allows you to kind of participate in a peer-to-peer lending where you join a borrow pool and then somebody could borrow against it to participate in leverage products. We have an entire feature set that I think really sets us apart as well, is typically when you see a DeFi platform, they'll specialize in just one thing. We have everything. And that's kind of the whole concept of why we built Elys Network. We wanted it to be an all-in-one DeFi experience. So when somebody comes to Elys Network, they don't have to open 6 different apps to do what they want to do. They can do their staking, they can do their swapping, provide liquidity, do leverage liquidity, perpetual trading, all of that in one easy to use platform. And then on the staking side, they can do simple staking or liquid staking to allow them to have additional benefits. We also have a very generous reward sharing program. So the way that we reward users for participating on the platform is if they are providing liquidity, they will earn 65% of system revenue generated. I'm sorry, 60%. And then if stakers will earn 25%. And then 15% comes back to the protocol to pay for the validators or the governors and all the other infrastructure that's being provided. But we think that this is probably the most generous reward system out there in terms of sustainability. So we don't just inflate we use inflation to pay rewards. We actually use system revenue. So this is pretty exciting because our system revenue pays in USDC. And that's really, really sets us apart from the other platforms out there who kind of pay in their own token or reward in their own token, which always puts pressure on their own token. So so a lot to be excited about. There's many, many more things coming. So we're adding derivatives later in 2025. We have our own standalone app that you'll be able to download from the App Store. That's coming in the first quarter of 2025. And then we're going to be integrating a lot of AI tools. So whether it be chatbots, professional trading tools, and some of the other integrations that we can leverage from AI smart contracts to be able to essentially have your portfolio rebalanced automatically using an AI smart contract. So we're really, really excited about all those. And I think there's more coming beyond that. So we're going to continue to look at like real world assets. We're going to continue to look at some of the other features that our community members are going to be asking for. We look to see those get added to the roadmap soon.
Wow, that's a lot to unpack right there. I'm definitely looking forward to the app and all the exciting updates around AI and every other feature that you touched upon. Speaking of the journey so far, congrats also on your recent fundraising round. And looking back at 2024, what are 2 or 3 things that you're really, really proud of around Elys?
Well, thank you for that. I'm extremely proud of the community. I want to first and foremost thank everybody who participated, from community building, testnet participation, providing infrastructure, our validators, our governors. They've been so instrumental into making this happen. This is truly a community-driven project. We did a phenomenal job with our fundraising. We tried to be very disciplined with it. We did not want to go out and raise too much money because we wanted to maintain that decentralized ethos. So we raised in total approximately $4 million. Very, very thankful to our investors who took that leap of faith with us and have been on this journey with us, and they are absolute heroes in our book. And so here we are. We have the tools that we need to make the Elys Network a smashing success. We have the funding. We have an all-star team of developers, designers, marketing leads, et cetera. We have a phenomenal community full of very talented traders, marketers, validators, governors, et cetera. And then we have fantastic strategic partners who are out there getting the Elys network name out there globally. So super excited. The milestones that we hit obviously were the huge testnet participation numbers that we had. I think it was over 2.5 million wallets created. We got up to 50,000 daily active users, and it was absolutely phenomenal. On launch day, we launched our TGE, our token generation event, on December 17th. It was absolutely phenomenal. We were seeing so much traffic coming into the app that we actually had technical problems. But that's one of the growing
A happy
pains
problem to have.
of launching. Exactly. So we're back up and running. We added several new servers to handle the load now, and now the experience is absolutely amazing. So we're super excited to see that, and that's kind of one of the things that we're always going to be working on doing, is trying to respond or be proactive about how to always make the product better, how do we always make it faster, how to always make the user experience even more polished. So in the first couple of weeks, we're gonna figure out what other things we can do to really make this thing shine. And we look forward to having users come and give us their feedback and tell us how what else they'd like to see.
Like you have an all-star ecosystem right there, and it has been absolutely a pleasure working with you. So, talking about our work together, what is the security strategy in general for Elys been like, and why go with an external partner like Halborn?
That's a great question. We absolutely love the partnership that we have with Halborn. Obviously, being partnered with the best really instills confidence in the users, instills confidence in investors. Everybody who's kind of watching Elys Network, they want to know, is this platform secure? Because when you have a DeFi project that's as involved and as technical as we are, and offers the feature set that we do, it is absolutely critical that we cannot have any flaws when it comes to funds or any kind of security issues. So this is where we believe the relationship with Halborn is absolutely just one of the best decisions we've ever made, because that audit really, when a user can take a look at the audit report and see how meticulous that that you have reviewed our code, again, they'll be more inclined to want to participate and bring on real funds. And on the institutional level, because we do obviously not just cater to the retail users, we also cater to institutions. We want to make sure that the institutions are able to do their full due diligence so that they can go to their partners and their stakeholders and say that, yes, we will be participating in Elys Network as liquidity providers or stakers, et cetera. So that is something I think that, is really critical for even establishing trust and transparency with all of Web3 projects. And so Halborn, I'm excited that Halborn is a leader in the space, and we look forward to continuing that relationship.
Thank you so much for joining us on this quick little flash video and for talking to us. To our viewers, stay tuned for more flash videos coming up very soon. Thank you.